Greetings, fellow Whovians. First of all, I just want to say that I am sorry I have not been making any new videos lately. I've just been busy with school and other things. So, yeah. So basically, this is going to be my video in which I will give my thoughts, my overall thoughts on Doctor Who Series 9. So what did I think about the season of Doctor Who that ended yesterday? I felt like it was very, very strong. I feel like this is the strongest season so far of Peter Capaldi's run as the Doctor. When I watched Series 8, I wasn't quite sure as to how Peter Capaldi would play the Doctor, but he did so in a way that was different from Matt Smith, David Tennant, Christopher Eccleston, but in a good way. And I liked how in Series 8 there was a little bit more action adventure, and the show kind of went into a more darker turn. And I felt like that was kind of interesting, especially because Series 8 was Peter Capaldi's first season as the Doctor. However, I felt like Series 8 was very, very solid. I felt like it was a solid start to Capaldi's run as the Doctor. But with Series 9, I felt like Peter Capaldi definitely found his niche as the Doctor. And this season was mainly filled with multi-part episodes. The only one that wasn't a two-parter, it was just one story, was Sleep No More. That was the only one that didn't have a continuation afterwards, and I felt like that was kind of interesting. But other than that, the rest of Series 9 was two-part episodes. And did I feel like that was a good thing or a bad thing? Well, to be perfectly honest, I felt like it was more of a good thing, because while there weren't that many two-parters in Series 8, except for the finale Dark Water and Death in Heaven, I felt like having two-part stories in Series 9 was a little bit better, because we got to expand upon other things, and we got introduced to new characters, and we got to learn more about them and stuff like that, instead of just having them in one story and then never seeing them again. So that to me was the strong suit of having Series 9 being or consisting of two-part episodes. That was really great. Now, of course, I can't talk about Series 9 without bringing up the episode Face the Raven. Now, this video will contain spoilers, okay? So if you haven't seen Face the Raven, Heaven Sent, or Hell Bent yet, then I highly, highly, highly recommend that you stop the video here and watch those episodes, and then come back to watch the rest of this video. Because this video will contain spoilers for those episodes. Okay, so Face the Raven, that was the episode in which Clara Oswald, the Doctor's companion, played by Jenna Coleman, died. And that was also the first episode of Doctor Who I've ever seen that made me cry, because I thought that was it. Clara was done. This was her departure. She died. She faced death, and she mentioned how Danny died in Death in Heaven and stuff like that. And to me, I felt like if that would have been Claire's departure right there, I would have been happy. But then in the Series 9 finale, Hellbent, it turns out that Clara is actually still alive. So the way they explain that is that in Hellbent, the Doctor returns home to Gallifrey. He's back on Gallifrey. He's back on his home planet. And as soon as the Doctor arrives on Gallifrey, all of the cloister bells in Gallifrey go off. And if you are hardcore Whovian like I am, then you know that when the cloister bell goes off on the TARDIS or that, it means yeah, shit's about to go down, like something really bad's going on. And so when the Doctor arrives on Gallifrey, all the cloister bells go off, and that basically means the Doctor's here, shit's gonna go down, it's about to get real. And that's what happens in the finale from last night. So basically, the Doctor, he arrives on Gallifrey, and he uses this extraction chamber to basically excuse me, to basically save Clara's life. You know, he extracts Clara just right at the split moment that she's about to die and face the Raven. So, Doctor, he extracts Clara from her timeline, and basically, this is the real Clara Oswald right there. So the Doctor, you know, he steals an old Type 40 TARDIS and stuff like that, and him and Clara, you know, they try to escape, blah, 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 blah. But then we still have one more plot point to wrap up, and that is the hybrid. So the Doctor, you know, he goes and he visits a Shielder who is played amazingly well by Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones. For those of you who don't know, Maisie Williams plays Arya Stark on Game of Thrones, and Arya Stark is one of my favorite characters from that show. Yeah, so basically, the Doctor and Shielder, they keep talking about who the hybrid is, and the Doctor thinks it's a Shielder, but it turns out that Shielder is actually not the hybrid. The hybrid is actually the Doctor and Missy. So it's kind of interesting, really, to think about that in that way, and that the Doctor ran from Gallifrey because he was afraid of himself. And that to me was very, very interesting. Really, that was a great reveal, because throughout the rest of the series we've been hearing about this whole hybrid talk, and now we finally get the reveal as to who the hybrid is. And that was a great reveal, and I'm glad they saved that for the series finale instead of just instead of revealing in like episode 5 or something like that. They revealed it at the very end, which was great, and I loved that. So there you go. Also near the end, the Doctor, he gets this device, and he's going to use it to wipe away Clara's mind of her adventures with the Doctor, kind of like almost what the 10th Doctor did to Donna Noble in the series 4 finale, Journey's End. That's what happened. But through Clara reversing the polarity, they activate the device at the same time, and the Doctor actually loses his memory of Clara, as well as him not remembering that he is the hybrid. For those who don't know, hybrid, you know, it's this prophecy about, you know, this warrior creature this creature thing that was standing in Gallifrey. It was a mesh of two warrior races and blah blah blah, and some people thought it was Time Lord and half dog, but it's actually half Time Lord, half human, or something like that. It was kind of interesting, really. So yeah. So the Doctor, you know, he loses his memory of his adventures with Clara, as well as the fact he is hybrid. And the Doctor, he winds up in Nevada, and he goes to this diner. That is the same diner from the Series 6 premiere episode, The Impossible Astronaut. And, you know, he walks to the diner, and he sees someone who looks like Clara, talks like Clara, blah, 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 and then he plays the Impossible Girl theme on his guitar, which I thought was very, very clever. I loved that reference. You know, but we don't need any more of that Impossible Girl stuff. That storyline was wrapped up in the Series 7 finale, The Name of the Doctor. But I thought it was a nice callback to that, though. That was really, really great. I loved that. So, at the end, it turns out that Clara is still alive. You know, she still has one heartbeat left. She doesn't have a pulse, though. And the TARDIS that she's in is the same one that the Doctor stole earlier in the episode. It's got the round things. It looks like the TARDIS interior from the Hartnell era, which I thought was a great callback. That was awesome. But yeah, and a Shielder's there, and of course the chameleon circuit doesn't work, so basically Clara has a TARDIS now, and the Shielder is her companion. That's awesome. And at the end of it all, Clara's TARDIS, it goes away, and the Doctor's TARDIS is there. Now, they don't reveal how they brought it all the way over there from London, which I thought was kind of weird, but whatever. Doctor Who, wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey stuff. So it's there, and the Doctor goes in the TARDIS, and he sees that velvet jacket he's been wearing, and Clara says, why are you still wearing that velvet jacket thing? That was very, doctor-y and stuff like that. And so he puts it on, and then he sees this message that Clara left for him on the chalkboard. It says, "Run, you clever boy, and be a doctor." That was awesome. It was a nice callback to the whole run, you clever boy, remember me" thing from Series 7. I thought that was a great callback to that. That was great. I loved that. And the Doctor, he gets a brand new sonic screwdriver, which I thought was kind of cool. And I guess that means he's not going to use the sonic shades anymore, which he was using in the first episode and some other episodes, but he's not used anymore. I guess the fans didn't like it, so he's got a brand new sonic screwdriver. It looks cool. It's color. The main color of it is blue, specifically TARDIS blue, I believe, which I thought was really cool because my favorite color is blue. So thank you to whoever made that decision. So thank you. And the Doctor, he snaps his fingers. The TARDIS door closes. He pulls down the lever. The TARDIS flies off, and he's still got that memorial that Rigsy painted on the TARDIS at the end of Face the Raven. It's still there, but it goes away, and the picture of Clara there, it goes away and stuff like that. So basically, everything for the Doctor, everything is back to business as usual. He's got his TARDIS back. He's got a brand new sonic screwdriver, and he goes off. And the next time we're going to see him is in this year's Christmas special, The Husbands of River Song, which I am extremely looking forward to. I love the character of River Song. She's amazing. I'm really looking forward to seeing Alex Kingston and Peter Capaldi together in this episode. I think it's going to be great. And I really hope they explain the title of that episode, because that was like, oh, wait, The Husbands of River Song? Wait, I thought River Song married the Doctor, so maybe she's married to, all the other versions of the Doctor, the other incarnations of the Doctor, or regenerations, I should say. But other than that, I think it's going to be really, really cool. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Series 10 I'm looking forward to. We don't know when it's going to premiere, what the name of the first episode is going to be called, and we also don't know who's going to be the new companion yet. So hopefully we'll get more information about that later on down the line. But other than that, Series 9, great season. I loved it. I'm definitely enjoying Peter Capaldi's run as the Doctor. I'm not quite sure if Series 10 is going to be Peter Capaldi's last series as the Doctor. I hope not, because I'm really enjoying his run as the Doctor. So hopefully he'll be around for Series 11, maybe, I don't know. But on that, Christmas special, Series 10, definitely looking forward to that, okay? So while we're on the subject of companions and their departures, I do want to talk about the top 10 companions I would love to see come back in Doctor Who. And you probably won't be surprised as to who my number one pick is going to be, but other than that, let's get things started. So, beginning with number 10, I would love to see Susan Foreman come back. The last time Caroline Ford played Susan was on screen was in the 20th anniversary special, The Five Doctors. That was the last time Caroline Ford played Susan Foreman on screen. Would I've loved to have seen Susan again in Hellbent? Yes, but sadly that didn't happen. But I would I would love to see Susan come back. Maybe not as a companion, but maybe just as a one-off thing. That would be perfect. I would love to see that happen. Number 9, Ace. Yes. Now, for those of you who don't know, Ace, or Dorothy McShane is her actual name, but anyway, she was the last companion of the classic era, and there's been no official and there was no official explanation of what happened to her until an episode of the Sarah Jane Adventures called The Death of the Doctor, in which Sarah Jane talks about what had happened to some of the Doctor's companions after they had after their adventures with the Doctor had ended. And she mentions Dorothy McShane. She founded this charity, something like called A Troubled Earth, ACE, ACE. So I thought it was a great nod to that, and I would definitely love to see. I would definitely love to see Ace come back to the show, and that would just be awesome. So hopefully that will happen at some point. If not, then oh well then. Number 8, Joe Grant. Yes, now Joe Grant actually made an appearance in the aforementioned Sarah Jane Adventures episode, The Death of the Doctor. And would I love to see Joe Grant in Doctor Who? Yes. I would love to see that. Katie Manning did a great job playing the character during the classic era, during John Pertwee's run as the Third Doctor. I would love to see Joe Grant on the main show one last time. That would be amazing. But who knows if that's going to happen or not, but still, I would definitely love to see that happen. Number 7, Leela. Now Leela was the Fourth Doctor's second female companion. Okay, the first one being Sarah Jane Smith, and the second one being Leela. And Leela, she was this kick-ass cave woman. She was feisty. She was tough. She was capable, and she was physically intimidating. And she did not need the Doctor to save her every 10 minutes. So that was amazing. She was awesome. Louise Jameson did an amazing job playing her, and I would love to see Leela come back again. So there you go. Number 6, Rose Tyler. Yes. The first companion of the modern show. I would definitely love to see Rose come back. Whether it's the Doctor accidentally went in with a parallel universe, or Rose traveling to the main universe, that would be awesome. And that would just be amazing to see that happen. But again, I highly doubt it's going to happen, but then again, who knows? But still, I would love to see Rose Tyler and the Doctor having an adventure together again, because that would be awesome. Sorry. So there you go. Number 5, Donna Noble. Now, while this probably won't happen, I still wish for it to happen sometime, okay? Whether it's during Capaldi's tenure, or whether it's someone else playing the Doctor, I don't care. Just the Doctor and Donna again. That would be amazing. And while Catherine Tate will be playing Donna again in some Big Finish audio dramas with David Tennant as the 10th Doctor, I still want Donna Noble to have one more on-screen episode. I still want Catherine Tate to have one more on-screen episode as Donna Noble, because that would be kick-ass. Because Donna Noble was my favorite companion during Series 4. She was amazing. She was funny as hell. And again, it just goes back to Catherine Tate's amazing performance as Donna. So, there you go. Number 4, Martha Jones. Now, Martha was the 10th Doctor's second companion, and she was the one that some people didn't like because she was the rebound companion for the Doctor, basically. The Doctor said goodbye to Rose in Doomsday, and then Martha comes along and, she tries to be friendly with the Doctor, but the Doctor is still not over Rose yet. And to me, I think that if Martha were to come back, then that would be awesome. But again, I highly doubt that's going to happen, but then again, who knows? Number 3, Lady Christina de Souza. Now, this was a one-off companion in a 10th Doctor special, Planet of the Dead. This was one of the specials that happened before David Tennant's tenure as a Doctor ended in The End of Time. So this was just a one-off companion, a one-off character. She appeared again in an issue of one of the Doctor Who comic books, and other than that, that was it. She was a thief and stuff like that, and I really do want her to come back. Maybe not as a full companion, but just as a one-off thing. So there you go. But yeah. So anyway, number 2, Jamie McCrimmon. Now, Jamie was still remains the longest running male companion in the history of Doctor Who. He was there from the early years of Patrick Troughton's run as Doctor all the way to the War Games. That was Fraser Hines' final appearance as Jamie. And would I want to see Jamie and the Doctor together again? Absolutely. That would be great. I would love to see Doctor and Jamie having another kick-ass adventure in the Scottish Highlands. That would be amazing. I would love for that to happen. So there you go. And last but not least, number 1, Clara Oswald. I know this sounds kind of weird because Clara's departure has already happened. It happened in last night's finale, but I would love for Clara to appear again just as a one-off thing during Peter Capaldi's final season as the Doctor, okay? I don't want it to happen in Series 10 because I feel like that would just be a whole too soon kind of moment, sorry. But still, I would love for it to happen maybe Series 11, Series 12, or whenever Peter Capaldi decides whenever Peter Capaldi decides he's not going to play the Doctor anymore. So maybe during that particular season, I think that would be great. And that would be great. Jenna Coleman did an amazing job playing Clara, and I do want to see her as Clara Oswald one final time, just as a one-off thing, and then that's it. Okay, again, not in Series 10 because that would be too soon, but maybe Series 11 or 12, or whenever Peter Capaldi's tenure as a Doctor ends, okay? Maybe in that final episode, or maybe sometime during that season. But yeah, so there you go. So thank you guys so much for watching this, and I do have one more thing to say about this, and that is Jenna Coleman. If you ever if you're scrolling through YouTube or something like that and you end up watching this video, I just want to tell you, I just want to say one thing. That is, thank you. Thank you for bringing to life my favorite companion of the modern era, as well as the companion, as well as to me, the definitive modern companion, or sorry, the definitive companion of the modern era of Doctor Who. Okay, your performance as Clara Oswald was amazing. I also enjoyed your Doctor Who debut in Asylum of the Daleks, and you were amazing in The Snowman as well. All the episodes you did, the specials, the 50th anniversary special, the Day of the Doctor, the Matt Smith's final episode, The Time of the Doctor, all of Series 8 and Series 9, you did an amazing job as Clara Oswald. Clara was one of those companions that I could relate to, and was one of the companions that I wanted to hang out with. Clara to me was she was like a close friend to me. I wanted to hang out with her. I wanted to talk to her, go shopping with her, and stuff like that. So I felt like Clara was a companion that I could relate to, and she was a companion that I wanted to hang out with the most. Out of all the companions of the modern era, Clara was the one that I wanted to hang out with and just have fun with, doing fun things like shopping and talking about boys and stuff like that. But yeah, so Jenna Coleman, thank you so much for playing my favorite companion of the modern era, and I really do hope that you do return to Doctor Who as Clara Oswald for one final appearance. Okay, just one more episode, a one-off thing in series 11 or 12 or whatever. And I am going to be watching the BBC miniseries Victoria, which for those who don't know, Jenna will be playing Queen Victoria in that miniseries. So I will be watching that. You were amazing in Doctor Who. And I hope the rumors are true that there will be a Big Finish audio drama called Wiggle Room, which hopefully you'll be voicing Clara, and Macy Williams will be voicing Shielder, and again, I can't stress this enough, I really do want you to come back to Doctor Who as Clara Oswald for just a one-off thing, and then that's it, okay? But yeah, again, I cannot say thank you enough for playing Clara Oswald. You were amazing, you were awesome, you were brilliant, you were magnificent, and you were above all, you were fantastic. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you do find some way to maybe tweet this video or something like that to Jenna Coleman, that would be great. Because I do want to let her know how much of an impact she made on me as a fan of hers and as a Whovian. So, thank you, Jenna, and thank you everyone for watching this. I will be continuing my Doctor Who reviews. I'll probably do that sometime tomorrow, because I'm not really doing anything tomorrow because of my class schedule and stuff. And also, sometime in January, I will be talking about my thoughts on this year's Doctor Who Christmas special, The Husbands of River Song, okay? I will be doing a video about that in January, okay? I'm not going to talk about it the day afterwards, but I will be talking about it in January, okay? So that will be enough time for you guys to watch the episode and process it and stuff like that. So be on the lookout for that, and until next time, oh my giddy aunt, when I say run, I've reversed the polarity neutral flow. Would you like a jelly baby? Fantastic. Allons-y, Geronimo! Bow ties are cool, vests are cool, and Stetsons are cool. See you all in January.